Hey everyone, this is a guitar tutorial for Hillsong United's As You Find Me, and this is the Spotify session. Now before we begin, please consider subscribing to my channel or give this video a like and comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. And I'm actually making this video because someone did just that, and it was more than one, so there you go. So grab your guitar and let's get started. All right, so you won't need a capo for this, but if you watch the video, you know that Matty Crocker has this really cool Gibson acoustic guitar. I think it's a Gibson Hummingbird. He has a capo on the 2nd fret, and he's playing in the key of C. So he's using like C, G, F, but you don't need to do that unless you really want to. Because the key of the song is actually D, we get to play with D chords. So you get to use D like this, G, B minor, or you could play B minor like this, A, and A suspended, so just drop your pinky on the B string, 3rd fret. And finally, D over F sharp is also used. You're just going to put your index finger on the low E string, 2nd fret. And don't worry about that high E string. All right, to play the beginning of the song, you won't need your pick, but you're going to need it at the second half of the song. So keep it in the palm of your hand. I usually put it like this between my knuckles, I guess, of my middle finger and my ring finger. But you can do whatever you'd like. You can put it on a music stand or in your lap, whatever works for you. So to play the beginning, it's a little difficult, and my pattern might be a little different than what is actually being heard in the song, and that's okay, but I'm going to try to get it as close as I can. So I'm going to put a D chord on, but I'm going to lift off on the middle finger to have an open E string. I'm also going to play a D suspended too, so I'm going to drop my pinky down on the high E string, 3rd fret, something like this. There's that D suspended, back to normal, and there's that open E. So to play that pattern, it's kind of difficult. Like I said, you're going to start with your thumb on the open D string, and you're going to emphasize that B string, 3rd fret, because that's the root note. And I'm just kind of going back and forth between that open D and the G string and the B string. And then when I want to spice it up, I just add the high E string. So again, you don't have to do it exactly that way, and you could use a pick through that, but I would like you to try it with your fingers just for some depth. After that first chorus, there's a turnaround. It starts on B minor, and you can still pluck that, but you can grab your pick at that time. B minor again, G, and D. And here's the verse, and you just strum very lightly. So there you go. I'm going to go over the strumming pattern after we play along with the song, but don't worry, I'm going to say the chords as we go along. Here we go. D, D, D suspended, D, D, D suspended, D, D, D suspended, D, D2, D, D suspended, and D, D, D suspended, D, D2, D, D suspended, D, B minor, G, D, D2, B minor, G, D, D2, D suspended, D, G, B minor, D, A suspended, G, B minor, A suspended, G, D, A suspended, B minor, A, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A suspended, B minor, A, G, D, A suspended, B minor, G, D, D2, B minor, G, D, D, G, D, B minor, G, D, B minor, G, D, B minor, G, D, G, B minor, D, A suspended, G, B minor, D, A suspended, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A, B minor, G, D, B minor, A, D, B minor, G, D over F sharp, A, B minor, G, D over F sharp, A, G, D over F sharp, B minor, 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 A, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A, B minor, A, G, D, A.
You love me as you find me.
Well, everyone, I hope that I was able to help you out with that tutorial. So let's go over some strumming patterns that I used in the second half of the song. Remember that first half was mostly picking, so let's talk about the second half. Here you go. This is the verse, and it starts on a D, so you could do something like this. I just did the first few chords there, just D and G, but you could do something like down, down, up, down, down, G, down, up, down, down. Something very simple. And then once the music starts to really get going and you start getting into the bridge, you could do something like a shuffle strum pattern or a gallop strum pattern. But I would try to avoid that and just do straight eighth notes, something like this. B minor, G, D over F sharp, and A. Now notice that was just down strumming, but you could do some alternate strumming patterns too. Those patterns pretty much sum up the foundational stuff that you need to know. I encourage you guys to do some of your own patterns because it's a worship song. It's something that you want to be creative with and don't just stick with the recording. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and comment below on what else you'd like to see in the future. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. God bless.